Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, out on another walk, and this is the second of the walks I'm doing with Mark Garner, who's very kindly offered to take me round a bit of Gloucester and show me some of the amazing relics. So, how are you, Mark?
I'm fine. How are you, Richard?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Now, if I turn the camera around, we can see an interesting remnant of what looks like, well, you tell me, Mark.
Well, this is the remains of a monastic priory, which site was built on a minster church from the 6th century.
So pretty old then.
Oh, very old. And what you see today is just remnants of a wall. It's incredible history to look into if you want to.
Why is there so little of it? Is the rest of it just fall down? Or?
I think it was down to the dissolution of the monasteries.
Ah, right.
The 1539 Reformation and
yes.
that, yes.
So we can see some beautiful arches and some windows and various doors. How big was it?
On a scale, it wasn't as big as the cathedral. It would have been a lot smaller in scale. So yeah, it was smaller than the present cathedral, the Abbey, but it was quite extended to the south that had a cloister range.
So this was earlier than the current Abbey that we see?
Yes, yeah, a lot earlier.
Right.
A lot earlier.
So about 600 years or something?
More than that.
More than
yes,
that?
Yes.
So when was the main Abbey founded?
The main Abbey was founded in 697, the first one.
Right.
But the present cathedral, about 1058.
Oh, okay. And then this one was founded?
This was first site, St Peter's Minster, 6th century. And the site we're at now was replaced by St Oswald Priory in about 8th, 9th century, so they've expanded on it and rebuilt it.
But sadly, it's thanks to the dissolution, it's now all that's left.
Yes, sadly a lot of monasteries and churches of that order were subject to great destruction in the mid-16th century. It's a pity.
Now, we're going to cross over this road after the bus and head towards St Mary's Street that I can see. There's some beautiful Victorian architecture around us, and there in the distance we can see the tower of the cathedral. But that's not what you wanted to take me to see on this trip, apart from that noisy motorbike passing away. If we come round here, this very modern looking St Mary's Congregational Church, there's something else up here. What's that you're going to take us?
I'm going to take you up to a statue of Bishop Hooper, who's Bishop of Worcester and Gloucester at the time of Bloody Mary Tudor. Unfortunately, because he was a strong Protestant reformer, he was sent to London to be put in prison and later sent back to Gloucester and burned on the stake.
It is amazing that people back then believed so much in the variance of how they practiced their faith that they were prepared to be burnt at the stake. I mean, you would think in this day and age someone would go, yeah, okay, I'll change my mind, I'll be all right, and then secretly practice their things. But they were so ardent and determined to continue their practices.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean,
even though it meant that they were going to be martyred and burnt at the stake.
I mean, it happened with Catholic priests. They were just tortured as bad as the Protestants. I mean, it was horrendous. It was an awful bloody time. So
yeah.
So we're actually approaching the monument itself to Bishop Hooper himself.
And actually we've got a nice yew tree on the right of it. But here, now this monument, when was this erected?
I think this is a later 17th century monument.
Right. I wonder if they actually had any real drawings of him. They may well have done back in the 16th century. You just walk all the way around. It's a very nice monument. If you're going to have a monument, you may as well have a good one. And beyond, there's an interesting aspect here. This is St Mary's Gate, is it?
It is. It's one of the gateways into the monastic precinct, which is the cathedral precinct now, College Green. There's some fantastic architecture in College Green as well. So this is the wall that would have protected the precinct.
Wow, and you can get a hint at what it must have looked like with the old timber framed houses around just above here. These beautiful old higgledy-piggledy houses which have now got a few modern windows in them at the top and what looks like old slate, but beautiful. You know, you really feel that you're touching history.
You are, yes. And what's left of it, what's preserved, that's amazing. Because you're not only walking through 1,000 years of history, but it's just spectacular.
Let's walk through, shall we?
Yes, yes.
Just as we've got the chimes. Oh, they've stopped. I heard a chime, maybe that was just doing the quarter hour or something. But there we see the cathedral again on our little walk.
And we're just approaching the precinct from the west, and College Green, where a lot of the residentiary canons, presenters, cathedral dean and chapter live, so they're living quarters around this place.
And I mean, it's a very quiet, a very peaceful place with all sorts of different periods of architecture. We've got Georgian around here. We've got some beautiful Georgian houses right in front of us.
It's a mixture really, depending on the time. Styles like now today you have new houses being built, so it's periodic housing at its best. I mean, it's fantastic, a lot of Georgian influence here.
You clearly like Gloucester.
Oh yes, I've only been here 8 to 9 days, but I've always considered Gloucester as a favourite cathedral, so yes, I love coming round Gloucester on a nice sunny day.
Let's just finish off our video with a walk onto this green here and catch. What side is this?
We're approaching the cathedral from the west.
Right.
And this is the west
big west
end.
window. Well, there it is, which is pretty amazing, pretty awesome. We have made another video where we went inside and looked around, and you gave us a bit of the guided tour because you're actually a volunteer.
Yes, a new volunteer.
New volunteer. Mark, just doing these little walks have been fantastic, and I would urge people to come to Gloucester and have a look at the history that is clearly abundant all around.
Oh, without a doubt, there's Roman, there's Anglo-Saxon, there's Norman, there's medieval.
There's so much to see.
Oh, there's a hell of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's to keep you entertained for the day.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Mark, thank you once again for just a couple of tidbits this time, but there's so much to see, and do come and visit the cathedral and have a wander around the town. It's wonderful.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Richard.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Until the next one, goodbye. Goodbye. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks.